Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. On behalf of the Newsfirst, the voice of the people, I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. A massive sinkhole appears near the Kotmale Reservoir. Container debris of MV Express Pearl washed ashore in Negombo. 500,000 Sinopharm vaccines arrive in Sri Lanka. Today marks the Vesak full moon Poya Day.
Over 2,600 years ago, on a Vesak full moon Poya Day, birth of Prince Siddhartha Gautama took place in Lumbini. It is said that the newborn child had walked on 7 lotus flowers which emerged suddenly before him. After coming into direct contact with the stark realities of life, Satara Peranimiti, a sick man, a decrepit old man, a corpse and a monk, the prince was determined to become ascetic. Young Siddhartha renounced all worldly pleasures in search of the ultimate truth and enlightenment. One peaceful Vesak night, as he was seated under the famous Pipala tree at Buddha Gaya, he attained perfect enlightenment and became Samma Sambuddha. At the age of 80 years, Lord Buddha had his last meal offered to him by a generous lady named Sujata. He rested on the couch placed between 2 sal trees in the Upavatana Sal Grove and attained Parinibbana on a Vesak full moon Poya Day. According to Buddhist history, Lord Buddha's 3rd visit to Sri Lanka also took place on a Vesak full moon Poya Day. Lord Buddha visited Kalaniya at the invitation of Naga King Maniakkitha of Kalaniya. This year the people cannot celebrate the Poya Day freely. Celebrate this festival at home. We must all adhere to the regulations imposed by the government. We kindly request that you celebrate the Poya Day in your temples while maintaining social distance. Interfaith Coexistence Council, working with His Holiness Pope Francis, has issued a message for the Vesak Poya Day. It states that religious coexistence is very important. The message issued on the Vesak Poya Day reiterates that all religions must coexist in peace.
In his Vesak Poya Day message, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says, quote, "It is our precious tradition practiced since the ancient times for the devotees, along with their children, to perform religious observances during the Vesak season to mold their lives according to the teachings of the Buddha, as well as for the betterment of this world and after." The message adds, "We should keep in mind the advice given by the Trinikayika Mahanayaka Theras to hold the state Vesak festival only symbolically in view of the current epidemic in the country." It further states that, like last year, we have lost the opportunity to engage in religious observances collectively this year as well, on the recommendations of the health sector due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister, in his message for Vesak, requests that devotees celebrate the Vesak full moon Poya Day, giving priority to Pratipatti Puja from homes. The Prime Minister wishes a spiritual Vesak full moon Poya Day with patience, compassion and kindness. In his message, the leader of the opposition, Sajith Premadasa, stated that the teachings of the Lord Buddha regarding health and happiness is most important today. He requests that the Vesak Poya Day be celebrated giving priority to Pratipatti Puja.
Namaskar. උතුම් වෙසක් පොහොය දින වෙනුවෙන් ඔබ සෑමට ඉන්දියානු මහා කමිසාරිස් කාර්යාලයේ හෘදයාංගම සුභාශිංසන් පෙරිනමමි. පොදු දහම් යන ඒකම් වේගනී වේල වේදගන්නා ආධ්‍යාත්මික වශයෙන් නියුන් සහෝදරයන් බඳු ඉන්දියාවට සහ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට වෙසක් උත්සවයේ වැදගත්කම් අතිමහත්. ඉන්දියාව සහ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව යන රටවල ඒකම් ආගමක වශයෙන් පමණක් නොව දර්ශනයක් සහ ජීවන ක්‍රමයක් වශයෙන් බුදුදහමේ තිබෙරගේ වීමට භාග්‍යවත් වී තිබෙනවා.
As Sri Lanka observes Vesak at homes today, Gammadda has made it possible to mark this important day online with the launch of the Gammadda Damsavya online Vesak zone. The zone will include a digital online pandal for which the artistic impressions were created by veteran artist Hemantha Warakagoda. The pandal depicts the Apannaka Jatakaya, a story that highlights many important aspects of good leadership, including a foundation of truth. The Vesak zone also includes other options where devotees could listen to sermons on the Dhamma and enjoy renditions of Bhakti Gee. Devotees from all over the world will have the opportunity to join the Gammadda Damsavya online Vesak zone through the website www.gammadda.lk. Meanwhile, the government has decided to release 240 prisoners in line with the Vesak Poya Day. Prisons Commissioner and media spokesperson Chandan Ekanayake said that a group of identified prisoners will be released from all prisons in the country. The released inmates were imprisoned for minor offences. More than 1 million people in India have been evacuated as a powerful cyclone is expected to make landfall on its eastern coast today.
Cyclone Yas, which has intensified into a very severe cyclonic storm, is set to hit the states of Orissa, also known as Odisha and West Bengal. This is the second cyclone to hit the country in a week after Cyclone Totea killed more than 90 people. It comes as India is already struggling to deal with its COVID-19 outbreak. A high danger warning has been issued for 2 key ports and a red alert has been issued for several districts across Orissa. Sea levels are expected to rise as the storm surges up to 3 meters and inundates low-lying areas. Nearly 1,200 rescue shelters have been sanitized in line with the COVID-19 safety norms and health teams have been deployed there. But there are worries that it will be difficult to maintain social distancing protocols as more than 1 million are evacuated to shelters.
In one of your headline-making story, a massive sinkhole has appeared on the road leading to the Kothmale Reservoir. Our correspondent said the engineer in charge of Kothmale Reservoir and police officers inspected the area. The sinkhole has appeared roughly 50 meters away from the Kothmale Reservoir in this manner. The relevant authorities have been informed in this regard, while the Director General of the Mahavali Authority is also expected to arrive this afternoon. Debris of a container and several other materials from the distressed MV Express Pearl that fell into the Sri Lankan waters have washed ashore in Negombo and surrounding areas.
The container washed ashore to the Talahena area in Negombo. Our correspondent said the locals had arrived in the area to observe the debris and the security forces have evacuated them. Meanwhile, several other material from the MV Express Pearl ship washed ashore to the Rajavela beach in Negombo. Chairperson of the Marine Environment Protection Authority, Darshani Lahandapura, said there is a possibility the freight containers may consist of dangerous or harmful substances. Therefore, MIPA Chairperson Lahandapura strongly advised the people not to go near the debris and to refrain from touching anything.
Express Pearl නෞකාවේ කින්න මේ වෙනට විශාල වශයෙන්
As of now, the fire that has erupted on the MV Express Pearl has been spreading rapidly. At first, the fire was at the front of the ship. However, now the fire has spread across the ship and is spreading. Yesterday, we got to know that close to 20 containers aboard the ship had fallen into the sea. Some of it had beached in Negombo. Since the debris contains hazardous substances, the Marine Environment Protection Authority would like to advise the people and the fishermen to stay away from the debris without contact.
the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency, said a special investigation was launched to determine whether an oil or chemical spill from the containers on board the burning MV Express Pearl took place. The vessel, which is registered under the flag of Singapore, had carried 1,486 containers with 25 tons of nitric acid, several other chemicals and cosmetics. It had departed from the port of Hazira in India. At the time of the fire, it was anchored 9.5 nautical miles northwest of the port of Colombo.
Meanwhile, the National Hospital states that one of the 2 crew members who were rescued from the Express Pearl ship and hospitalized has been diagnosed with COVID-19. Meanwhile, the flight carrying 500,000 Sinopharm vaccines as a donation of the Chinese government reached the island early this morning.
According to Newsfirst's airport correspondent, the consignment of Sinopharm jabs were brought to Sri Lanka aboard UL-869, which departed from Beijing International Airport. Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Ministers Pavitra Baniyarachchi, Nama Rajapaksa, Prasanna Ranatunga and State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana, along with parliamentarian D.B. Chanaka, were among others who were present when the vaccine consignment arrived in the country.
We are thankful to the Chinese government for this great contribution. 1.1 million vials of the vaccine were given by the Chinese government to our country. It is a huge assistance to our country. Throughout history, China has been helpful to Sri Lanka. They are world superpower. We are thankful to the Chinese government.
Chinese ambassador made a special announcement today. He said that the 2 million doses of the Sinopharm vaccine that we purchased would be given to Sri Lanka within a month. He further said that the Chinese government had taken steps to provide medical equipment in the near future. Moreover, we are to receive more of Russia's Sputnik vaccine in the coming future. We will get to know the correct amount and the date of arrival tomorrow. The Chinese ambassador further stated that the Sinovac vaccine is being manufactured in China. Our discussions to ensure that this vaccine be produced in Sri Lanka within the next few months has been successful. We hope to manufacture the Sinovac vaccine with China in Sri Lanka within the next 2 months. We have prepared a factory in Kundasale for this purpose.
ඒ සඳහා කුණ්ඩසාලේ ප්‍රදේශයේ පිහිටවලා තියෙන කර්මාන්ත ශාලාවක මේ වෙනකොටත් මූලික කටයුතු අපි සූදානම් කරගෙන යනවා.
Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, through a Twitter message, has expressed his gratitude to China for providing 500,000 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine to support Sri Lanka's drive against the pandemic.
Meanwhile, the presidential media unit said in a statement that the second dose of Sinopharm, which arrived in the island today, will be used for vaccination from today. Meanwhile, roadblocks were imposed in several locations of the island in search of quarantine regulation violators. Many places were deserted today and vehicles travelling on the road were inspected by the police. In international news, WhatsApp has filed a legal complaint in Delhi against the Indian government, seeking to block regulations coming into force today that experts say would compel the California-based Facebook unit to break privacy protections.
The lawsuit asks the Delhi High Court to declare that one of the new rules is a violation of privacy rights in India's constitution, since it requires social media companies to identify the first originator of information when authorities demand it. While the law requires WhatsApp to unmask only people credibly accused of wrongdoing, the company says it cannot do that alone in practice because messages are end-to-end encrypted. To comply with the law, WhatsApp says it would have to break encryption for receivers as well as originators of messages. The people with knowledge of the matter declined to be identified because of the sensitivity of the issue. A WhatsApp spokesman declined to comment. The lawsuit escalates a growing struggle between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government and tech giants including Facebook, Google parent Alphabet and Twitter in one of their key global growth markets.
Before we leave you, we would like to remind you that devotees from all over the world will have the opportunity to join the Gamma the Dham Savya online Vesak zone through the website www.gammathe.lk. For the News First, the voice of the people, I'm Martin Sathinesan. Take care and stay safe.